The world's richest man has shocked everybody today because Elon Musk has just added laser eyes to his Twitter profile. So today we're going to be discussing the ramifications of what would happen if Elon Musk continues to buy more Bitcoin, as this happens at the same time that we have 5 of the world's top 21 billionaires all getting into Bitcoin in a very, very interesting way. So let's ask ourselves the question, has this begun the Bitcoin gold rush? What is the 10-year Bitcoin gold rush that is going to end in 2034? And who are these 5 multi-billionaires who are getting into Bitcoin? Today, we're going to be answering all of those questions. We're going to do that by starting off with this video here of Michael Saylor, where he explains what the Bitcoin gold rush is.
We're in the Bitcoin gold rush. It started in January of 2024, and it will run till about November of 2034. How many people know what happened in November of 2034? In November of 2034, 99% of all the Bitcoin will have been mined, and the last 1% comes out over the next 100 years. So for all practical purposes, the stock to flow ratio of Bitcoin is infinity in 2034. It becomes noise. At the beginning of the gold rush, no bank could custody Bitcoin, no institutional investor could buy Bitcoin, no Wall Street trading firm. When those spot ETFs were approved, that created a fire or an avalanche. The genie's out of the bottle. It doesn't matter who's elected president next. It doesn't matter who's the next head of the SEC. No politician's opinion, no banker opinion, no regulator opinion matters after that date. That kicked off the gold rush.
So that is the Bitcoin gold rush, as Michael Saylor calls it, okay? All of a sudden, now that we have FASB, fair value accounting, approved in 2024, we have the Bitcoin spot ETF approved in January 2024, that second leg of the pillar. And now that we have banks on the way to beginning to custody Bitcoin, this has triggered the Bitcoin gold rush. Now, it looks as if companies from all around the world, public companies, are beginning to recognize that we actually are in a Bitcoin gold rush, okay? This is going to be something we talk about. We're not actually going to be talking about this yet. Actually, you know what? We're just going to tease it for you guys right now. Tomorrow, we're going to be dropping our exclusive in-person interview with Michael Saylor. We filmed it at BTC Prague. We just tweeted about it for the first time literally a couple of minutes ago. That is dropping tomorrow. So if you're not subscribed, subscribe to the channel so you can see that. We think it was a really unique interview with Michael, so we really hope you enjoy it. But what is this gold rush we're talking about? Okay, we're going to come back and talk more about Elon Musk in a second, and why it's such a big thing for him adopting laser eyes. We're going to be having a look at what everybody else is saying about Elon Musk adopting laser eyes in a moment. But I want to actually make the case that we're already in this 10-year digital gold rush, and it's really heating up quicker than most people think, okay? So we briefly talked about this yesterday, or maybe it was earlier in the week on my personal channel, but thought I would share it here, okay? Because most people are not paying attention. There are now 5 public companies who have bought Bitcoin and actually announced a new and altered treasury reserve strategy this year alone, okay? Most people would know DeFi Technologies, Semler Scientific, as well as Metaplanet. We've talked about those 3 companies a lot here on the channel, and lots of other people are beginning to talk about these companies as well. But in the past couple of weeks, more public companies quietly announced that they were adopting a Bitcoin treasury reserve, okay? So a little company called Boya, B-O-Y-A-A, yesterday announced that they were going to be plowing $100 million worth of Bitcoin into their treasury. But so has another company called Bitcoin Depot. So we are now up to 5 public corporations, 5 new public corporations getting into Bitcoin, okay? So this is massive. This is big. And I think it's happening really quickly, okay? In this tweet, I said, repeat after me. The public companies are coming. More public companies are coming, okay? And I said at the very bottom, we're not even talking about Elon Musk adopting laser eyes and Michael Dell's recent Bitcoin tweeting frenzy, okay? And we're not even talking about the 9th largest pension fund in America getting into Bitcoin. We're not even talking about the fact that 13 of the world's top 25 hedge funds are into Bitcoin. Okay, we've seen all of this adoption by the big boys who matter, the billionaires, that I think a lot of people really need to be paying attention to what is happening, okay? And we know that a lot of these billionaires are getting into Bitcoin. For those who didn't know, billionaire Michael Dell, the world's 10th richest man, continues tweeting about Bitcoin aggressively all the time. For those who didn't know, Mark Zuckerberg, the CEO of Facebook, actually has a goat named Bitcoin. Okay, this is interesting as well because Mark Zuckerberg actually has a controlling vote at Facebook. So they wanted to do something really radical. He could really push them in the right direction, like they kind of did in 2019 with the Libra project. Okay, Facebook created the Libra project, and it was very different. It was very out there. It was very forward thinking, so to say. And Zuckerberg was able to do that because he does have that controlling vote. Okay, he does now have a goat named Bitcoin. Okay, there's the tweet. My goats, Max and Bitcoin. A lot of people might have missed that. But again, someone in the top 20, some of the richest people in the world, slowly getting into Bitcoin. And for those who might have missed it, we also have Jeff Bezos, CEO of Amazon. This article here puts it nicely. Bitcoin's billionaire club. Is Jeff Bezos the latest member? Love that article. I love the title of that article. Sorry, brilliant. Now, why did they say that? Well, the reason Jeff Bezos was in that article was because of this tweet here that we popped out on our Twitter account. Was Saylor discussing Bitcoin with Jeff Bezos at Jeff Bezos's fiance's birthday party in St. Bart's this past weekend? So you can see by this little section that we underlined that they were spotted on MicroStrategy, Michael Saylor's yacht. Okay, this is a little bit interesting. Okay, a lot of people might have missed that. But again, what do you guys really think Jeff Bezos was doing on Michael Saylor's yacht? Were they talking about their businesses? Sure, probably. Were they talking about Bitcoin? I don't know if Michael Saylor can go an hour without talking about Bitcoin, but I'll let you guys be the judge. Again, you guys be the judge of everything we say here on this channel. Zuckerberg is not reliable, 100% agree. A lot of these billionaires are not reliable. But again, this is the really beautiful thing about Bitcoin. Bitcoin is for enemies. And even if we have our enemies, like Zuckerberg, or even a lot of people think Larry Fink is the enemy, and he certainly has a colorful history that we've highlighted a lot on this channel, even him coming in and buying 320 or 330,000 Bitcoin, this is good for Bitcoin. Well, let's be clear. It's very good for number go up Bitcoin. Certainly going to increase the timeline of Bitcoin's monetization adoption curve. Okay. Again, we've got two adoption curves. Bitcoin, the medium of exchange. When are the masses going to use Bitcoin to buy a coffee or onboard onto the Lightning Network? And when is Bitcoin going to be adopted by the majority of the people who hold that $900 trillion of wealth in the world? This is a different adoption curve. Bitcoin's store of value, monetization, adoption curve. I think we're seeing signs that the monetization, store of value, adoption curve of Bitcoin is going to happen a lot quicker than the medium of exchange adoption curve, okay? This is why we continue to make these videos highlighting all of these data points. Guys, if you're sleeping on Bitcoin, you really need to wake up. The world's billionaires are getting into Bitcoin, okay? Again, we're not about trusting authorities here on the channel. Do your own research. But the fact that we do have all of these billionaires in the world getting interested in Bitcoin should at least encourage you or interest you to doing a little bit more research in Bitcoin. Why are the world's smartest people and richest people getting into Bitcoin? Just a question, okay? If you're not in Bitcoin today, or if you're not convinced that Bitcoin is at least worth a look today in 2024, we don't know what's going to convince you. Quantum asked a great question about Bitcoin being a reserve asset. We're going to be talking about that a little bit more at the end of today's video because we've got a little bit of a deep dive lined up for you guys. Okay, let's stay on topic here. Okay, so we have Michael Dell. We have Jeff Bezos spotted on a yacht with the Giga Chad Michael Saylor. We have Mark Zuckerberg also having a goat named Bitcoin. Now, again, I'd like to remind you guys, they could all be buying Bitcoin private for themselves. They haven't bought it publicly for their companies yet. but they could certainly be buying it privately. And now let's get back to the story of today. And that is, of course, Elon Musk adopting laser eyes on his profile today. Naturally, the internet has been absolutely melting down, in particular, the Bitcoin section of the internet, Bitcoin Twitter. But we can see here, this is real. I went to the source. Everybody's tweeting about it. This is Elon Musk's homepage, 190 million followers adopting laser eyes. Now, 3 hours ago, is a little bit interesting. Let's try to figure out why he's adopting laser eyes. 3 hours ago, he tweeted this and he pinned it to his Twitter profile. Aesthetics matter. There should be a beauty to the flow of thought on X. A little bit cryptic. Aesthetics matter. You know, it could be interesting. It's strange that he pinned that straight away to his Twitter profile on the same day that he makes one of his biggest changes to, his Twitter profile, adopting laser eyes. Okay, very, 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 very interesting. And he's also today tweeted a lot about, obviously, the other big news, that is Biden dropping out of the election race, which is really big. I was looking for the other tweet I was trying to find. I just couldn't find it. But he was also tweeting about the fact that a lot of his buddies in San Francisco right now are actually pretty interested in what Vance is doing, or the possibility of what Trump and Vance is going to be doing if Trump is elected. Okay, so that's really interesting. That's, it's all happening, so to say. It's Rexona 72 hours says Musk with laser eyes is really cool. It's like walking on the streets after a Motorhead show. If you leave your Bitcoin, vote for RFK. Otherwise, Jamie Dimon will be the Treasury Secretary. You guys are all talking about the news of today. Today was a very, very big day in the news cycle, so to say. We've all those rumors about, Larry Fink and Donald Trump and Jamie Dimon, who's going to be the next Treasury Secretary. We're going to be talking about all of that because I do want to have a look at this rabbit hole a little bit more. But before we get there, again, guys, I want to do a little bit of a brief history on Elon Musk. There might be some new people in the space today saying, okay, what's going on? I thought Elon Musk sold his Bitcoin. I saw, Elon Musk, was stopped accepting Bitcoin for payments. Wanted to show you this article here and just bring anyone up to speed on, Elon Musk's strange but interesting history in digital currencies, okay? Obviously, he created PayPal way back in the late 1990s with Peter Thiel. And their goal at the time was trying to create some sort of digital money, okay? So Elon's been thinking about digital money for a very, very long time. But after, he, let's say, walked away, or let's say he stopped being a part of PayPal, Elon Musk has gone on to do other things. He's been a little bit distracted with, Tesla, SpaceX. He's been very distracted doing other things. But more recently, he's got a little bit of a history of getting back into the digital currency space. Okay, this is just pretty interesting. I actually have this cool. I'm going to try to play this video for you guys, and we are going to play it on YouTube. Hopefully the sound works. If it doesn't, let me know in the chat. But let's see if this works. Okay, so there you have it. Elon has kind of flip-flopped around, so to say, with his Bitcoin position. Something else that, that website might have left out was obviously the more recent history with Elon Musk. He came out, he announced he's buying $1.5 billion of Bitcoin for Tesla for the balance sheet, and he was going to be accepting Bitcoin for payment for his Tesla vehicles. Okay, this is in 2021. This is just after Michael Saylor adopted Bitcoin for MicroStrategy. And then obviously, it was about a year later, very coincidental timing, Elon Musk kind of backed out of that decision. He was like, yeah, you know what? We're actually going to stop accepting Bitcoin for payment. And this is because there are concerns about Bitcoin not quite being green enough for our liking. Okay. And this, conveniently kind of happened when Bitcoin was going parabolic around when it was around $50,000 to $60,000. And at the same time, China banned Bitcoin mining, which was something that a lot of people kind of looked at and pointed towards and said, hey, that's interesting timing, don't you think? Okay. So obviously, more recently, Elon Musk even sold a little bit of Bitcoin. He was testing the liquidity of the Bitcoin on his balance sheet. And Tesla still holds a chunk of the Bitcoin that they originally bought back in 2021. So Elon obviously has a little bit of a colorful history in Bitcoin. So does that man right there, Ray Dalio, has a very, very colorful history in Bitcoin. But Elon obviously famous for tweeting about, Dogecoin and pumping the price of Dogecoin. Just a question I wanted to ask you guys is the fact that, Elon Musk is adopting laser eyes today potentially a sign that maybe he's becoming a Bitcoin maximalist? I mean, the laser eyes is, it's colloquially known as like a Bitcoin maximalist thing. Laser rays until 100K. Okay. So this is interesting. And wasn't there at some point all of the Ethereum maxis tried to do like blue laser eyes or something different, saying, oh, we're different, we're the color blue? So again, it's an interesting question you guys can really stew and kind of think about. Is Elon Musk finally doing the work on Bitcoin? Has he done the work? Who knows? Who knows if he has done the work or not? Elon Musk is obviously a notorious figure in the space, but it's certainly interesting watching him kind of come around at the same time we're watching this, billionaire FOMO, so to say. It really does look as if 2024 will be remembered as the year of the Michael Saylor copycat. Okay, everybody is beginning to come to the realization of just how important Bitcoin is. Okay, 2024 really does look like it's that watershed year, so to say. Everybody's beginning to realize that Bitcoin is generational wealth, which is probably a good time to mention our sponsor, Rhino Bitcoin, who actually helps you guys look after your generational wealth. Okay, so Rhino is a banking solution that combines the traditional services of TradFi with the power of Bitcoin. So it's created by Bitcoiners for Bitcoiners. Rhino offers you guys a range of different services. You can buy, you can sell Bitcoin, you can withdraw from Rhino to cold storage, and you can even use Rhino to pay other people via the Lightning Network. And some other cool things you can do with Rhino, you can purchase gift cards with Bitcoin at the click of a button, and you can even connect to Casa for multi-signature security. We are really big advocates of withdrawing to cold storage, but also setting up more advanced setups like multi-signature solutions. So again, with all that said, if you are interested in learning more about Rhino, highly recommend you check them out. You can visit rhinobitcoin.com, link down below in the description of today's video, and they're doing some really cool things in Bitcoin. Thomas asks, can you buy a home with Rhino using Bitcoin as collateral? Not yet, but Rhino does have a number of great things coming. Okay, pretty soon you'll be able to pay bills and borrow money and save Bitcoin for your retirement, all in the one seamless, secure app. Okay, so those are some features that are coming pretty soon. You will be able to borrow money. You might be able to borrow that money and use it to go out there and buy a home. So stay tuned to everything Rhino's doing. We got a link down below in the description for you guys to check out. So thanks for the question, Thomas. Lightning Larry's in the chat. Hello, Lightning Larry. Let's have a little bit of look at the comment section. The comment section looks lively. Armchair Contrarian, oh please. Elon Musk is part of the PayPal mafia. He has known about Bitcoin since the beginning. Interesting, he certainly could have. We just showed you that video. He kind of knew about Bitcoin pretty early, but not the very, very beginning. Satwise makes an interesting comment here. the PayPal posse was attempting to invent Bitcoin and finally gave up and made it about modernizing the interface to the current financial system. That's true. If you listen to the old speeches of Peter Thiel, they were incredibly bullish on trying to create a self-sovereign digital money. They were really, they really wanted to create something like Bitcoin. They just didn't quite get there. So with all that said, guys, might leave today's video there. Okay, again, stay tuned. Our interview with Michael Saylor is dropping tomorrow. Okay, if you want a little bit of a sneak peek of what the interview might look like, I'm actually going to be going live on my personal YouTube channel in about, we'll call it 10 minutes time, to discuss what's going on with Larry Fink and Donald Trump. And Donald Trump's had such a big day in the news today. Is obviously rumors of Larry Fink potentially becoming the next, Secretary of the Treasury for America, which, as we are going to explore, is going to be absolutely massive. And then on the same day, Donald Trump has come out and repeatedly bashed El Salvador and Bukele. They're two very interesting stories. I want to break both of them down later tonight. So again, I'm going to be going live in about 10 minutes on my personal channel. I'm going to be doing another live stream on my personal channel in about 10 minutes. Maybe by the time I'm on those live streams, I might be able to actually show you guys a little bit of a sneak peek of that Michael Saylor interview that will be dropped here. The full interview is dropping here on the bitcoinnews.com YouTube channel tomorrow at around 12 or 1 o'clock. So stay tuned. We're going to do a premiere so that it's kind of like a live stream. The video will be live streamed and I'll be in the chat with you guys answering all of the questions you got. If you want to tell me I'm asking him terrible questions, you can ask me why. You can ask me why I asked him any specific questions. So stay tuned for that. We're going to premiere that on YouTube tomorrow around lunchtime or afternoon. So thank you for the kind words. The next live stream link to that one is just got dropped in the chat by Pam. Den Lass makes a great comment. Why first showing Saylor interview now, so long time after the Bitcoin Prague interview? A number of different reasons for why we've waited probably a month for the BTC Prague interview. I didn't actually ask Michael Saylor anything topical about BTC Prague. I always like to ask really different questions, especially when you get the opportunity to interview someone like Michael Saylor. I wasn't just going to ask him the same questions everybody else asked him. Oh, how's your time at BTC Prague? What do you think about this political news topic that happened this week? I tried my best to ask really unique, really different, big picture questions. So the interview is really timeless, and he obviously did a lot of interviews in BTC Prague as well. So we didn't want to just release, just another BTC Prague Michael Saylor interview at the same time everybody else was. And another reason, again, lots of contributing factors here for why it's being posted a month after that conference. We wanted to do the best with our editing. So we trialed lots of different editors to try to get, the best edit possible for you guys. So there's a few reasons. Thanks for the questions, Den. We hope it's going to be worth the wait. So with all that said, guys, I'm going to go live in about 10 minutes and stay tuned for that Michael Saylor interview dropping tomorrow. I'm going to be here on the channel answering all your questions during the interview. So it should be a blast. Make sure you subscribed so you get notified when that one drops. And I'm going to end this stream here.